Hey AfterBuzzers, welcome to an all-new Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce after show here at AfterBuzz TV. Tonight we're breaking down Season 3, Episode 6, Rule number 218, titled There's No Crying in Baseball. Full panel here, we have a lot to talk about, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello again, you beautiful, beautiful AfterBuzzers. Thank you so much for tuning into the Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce after show again here at AfterBuzz. I'm your host, Sam Davidson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. I have three lovely ladies next to me. We are a great panel together. I love you all. Let's start with you, Veronica.
All right. Hi, everyone. Veronica. I finally got a Twitter. Breaking news.
Tweet it up.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at Veronica B Online and on Instagram at VRocker1.
Follow her, guys. She just got it.
Just got it. She has no photo yet. She's not a creeper.
Right.
She just started it.
That's right.
Peer pressure. Hey guys, I'm Lindsey Miller. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere at Rockin' Mama Life.
Yes, I'm Tara Johnson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TJ Wagging Her Tail. And bring back our lights. I love we have the lights going on. There we go.
Party.
I actually really liked this song. It was on my playlist. I have a season playlist, like one for every season of every year. And this was on mine for this past season.
Oh.
And it was also on the show last night.
There you go.
So, okay.
Yes.
I want to start talking first with Delia, who has the smaller role, but also one of the most upsetting, I will say, because we're seeing her change in this, like, negative way.
Is she changing?
Yeah,
Delia's always been a little bit shisty.
I don't know if it's changing. It's real extra and unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You know, I mean, the second you saw the guitar, you were like, Delia did it.
Yeah.
I didn't until she said she did it.
Really?
Oh, no. I was like, Delia did it.
I was like, Prince is going to come back and visit you. How dare you?
You don't want to be haunted by Prince.
Right?
He'd just be like, hey, all the time.
And you know someone's going to find out. You're like, this is going to go so poorly for you,
She's just the PI from the firm. I mean, hell, pay for it yourself.
It's a little desperate. Yeah.
Not attractive.
So there was Ronnie, and I always forget his name every episode. I'm like, that weird guy.
Call him a disaster.
Casted peanuts.
Yeah.
Hot mess.
It's Ronnie with his divorce from his hot mess, and they're fighting over the Prince guitar that they got gifted at their wedding. But yeah, you know, Delia essentially sets him up because she goes over there and he fires her because they're doing, you know, they're back together doing some weird stuff in the bedroom, and, you know, he lets her go. And this does something to her. Like, why? Is it because this is her biggest case right now and she needs to prove herself?
Yes. And I think that as crazy as it is, I think the cycling under the influence has really thrown her in the fact that she has to do community service, and it's just
so stupid.
all just way too much for her.
I mean, it's definitely to try to save face.
Yeah.
Like, she knows that at the firm she's already got this giant scarlet letter on her, and they're all you know, have ideas about her, and so now she gets this huge case, and if it disappears, then that's her. She saw that as her chance to kind of
her work.
stick it to the man.
Her work is her life. So if she doesn't have a good thing going on at work, what does she have? You know, she lost a husband. It's kind of like
a whole lot of cray-cray.
she needs to feel that is going well. I feel, and she'll do anything to do to.
It's honestly, I would say at least half of our main characters are, teetering on a mental breakdown.
They're all crazy.
Yeah, you know, it's L.A. I guess that was the problem I had with Delia. I'm like, it's L.A., honey. No offense, you're a divorce attorney. If they got back together, somebody else is breaking up. And you know what I mean?
You won't be short of a job.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
And you know they're going to eventually be back in your office filing for their divorce again.
If this is a major couple, she's already gotten her name in Us Weekly and moved on. Nobody else is really following the story any longer. So I just didn't. I'm not really feeling this breakdown of Delia's, but
Well, you know it's leading to her hooking up with Albert, which
So
is
true.
disgusting.
So true. And now that he's getting a divorce, and he actually, but I was surprised. He actually looked sad that he was getting a divorce. Like he really looked shaken.
He looked not like the worst human being alive.
And
when
he
was talking to her.
apologized, right?
Yes. Yeah.
He's so gross.
Maybe they do belong together. That might be it. Who knows?
I've always said, I think they're the right couple for each other for the wrong reasons. But hey.
But hey, yeah.
Well, then you know what?
so
I don't
wrong.
want them on the show. I'm not kidding.
you
They're
know
him
what?
off the show.
But you know what? Good for Albert, because he's given hope to all the skeezy, hideous-looking men out there. that
Why
they
does
could
this
end up with
make
someone
me so
like Delia.
upset? He's such a. He's terrible, and he's rubbed off on her.
Has he rubbed off
I
on
think
her?
he's made her, yeah.
Yes, I think he between who he is and what he did to her behind her.
I think it was always there.
I don't think he rubbed
brought it
off
up.
on her. I think he like incited her to act like a child because she was like so desperate to like.
Yeah, if
prove
maybe if he
herself.
plays dirty, yeah, she says, okay, well, I can do the same to get ahead, or it's kind
Two
of like
wrongs
an
don't make
yeah.
a right, kids. Two
Well, that's why
wrongs
they
don't
belong
make
together.
a right.
There you go. That's why
And
they
that's
belong
why they-
together.
yes.
They understand each
So
other's
they can just
craziness.
ruin the world together.
I mean, on the 28th floor, wherever
Eye
they
for an
are,
eye.
they just
What is
with
that?
a
you
great
know?
view.
with a fantastic view.
I don't know why this like bothers me so much because I'm like, Delia, you are actually I think just like aesthetically and her
Gorgeous.
personality, like yeah, she is by far has the most going on out
Yeah.
of any of these
True.
ladies.
But she's brilliant too, like very smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's brilliant, and she like who cares what just happened? She should not be working where she's working anymore. She should have left, and she's going to leave. I think she's going to leave. She has to leave.
Well, I think she may have to leave once they find out about
Oh,
this
yeah.
guitar thing.
I think
it's
you know
getting
what?
over.
Albert might be the one that
Oh.
puts it out there, and that will send her over the edge. She will be.
Well, I hope that I will just say I hope Delia kept the photos that she took. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? The episode when she went to see Ronnie with his penis thing. Maybe that happened for a reason. Maybe we will get that again. I don't know, but for me, I would have rather her like done that, and I'd be like, "Oh, you're in a bad place," but like that's kind of funny. Than what she did, because what she did was so weird.
So strange.
It was really weird.
It was really desperate.
Very desperate.
Very and just
and super
unnecessary.
criminal.
She could get arrested.
Prince, guys, Prince. It's wrong.
Like rest
Yeah.
in peace. As they said, R.I.P. You know, kiss it up. I was like, what is that?
But the last part of Delia and Albert, and he tells her she is a great lawyer and does not need tricks.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like that was just I'm like, oh, are we supposed to like you now?
Albert or Delia?
Albert. I'm like, oh, does that line mean that
I think
we're
they're
supposed to like you?
trying to
It's ridiculous.
get us to like Albert.
Some redeeming quality. Something's there
I'm
redeeming.
like clenching my fist. I don't know what it is about this man. It makes me mad.
It's because he's bald.
I mean, it might be part of
He
it.
reminds you of
Really?
Dr.
You
Evil.
can't
That's
trust a man
why.
without hair.
Are we against all the bald men? Because there's some pretty
Dr.
sexy
Evil
bald
and Lex
men.
Luthor. I will say it again. Next, we have this whole Phoebe thing.
That's all we can say.
Yeah, that's all I have to say on this whole episode is,
Okay, so before we came in, Tara
Yeah.
said that you were like, I am super, I don't know what you said, but it was about the like threesome or like euphemism.
I thought that Gemma first of all, I'm just sick of her name. I really wish they would just shape it out every time they say it.
I
It's-
kept on spelling it differently.
every
It's the way
time.
Phoebe says it, Gemma. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, she gets
Like
this
it's
like
God.
airy look, Gemma. Like Gemma just
Los
called.
Angeles.
It sounds like how Kirsten Cavallari used to say Steven's name in Laguna Beach. She would always be like, Steven.
Yeah,
was
it's
like
horrible.
that.
It's annoying, right? It's like so Gemma. Like I thought Gemma was gonna kiss JD, and I thought they were like gonna go into this whole threesome thing
Yeah.
or whatever. It had a really orgy threesome kind of vibe. That dinner was super strange.
It was super awkward. It's totally gonna happen next week. Obviously,
She's gonna
JD's
tell him it's good for their career.
he's gonna be like, "Let's
Pull
go
that
to this cabin," and
Yeah.
But he can't like JD can't handle that, right? Like he can't being with
Well, no,
Phoebe
you
was
know what-
what made him more normal.
Is
And
it?
when he does this, I think it's going to throw him over the edge. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
mentally, I don't think he can handle it. He will do it for
He'll do it, yeah.
He'll do it for
He's
her.
gonna hook
She's
up
the leader,
with
yeah.
Gemma and think it's what Phoebe wanted. He's
Yeah.
gonna be like, Phoebe, I don't understand why you're upset. Like, I thought that's what was happening here.
No, I would say Gemma's gonna hook up with Phoebe. If anyone's hooking up with Gemma, it's gonna be Phoebe.
Gemma.
Like Gemma's not like Phoebe's not gonna let anybody have her woman. Let's just call it what it is.
That's true.
Well, what do you think's going on between these two, Veronica?
Between Gemma and
Or
Phoebe?
the three.
The
I'm
three
sorry,
of them?
yes,
I think
three.
JD will do anything to please Phoebe, and yeah, they're going to go down that little threesome rabbit hole of craziness,
Or
and it's going
squirrel
to blow
hole?
up. Squirrel hole, yeah.
A bunch of squirrels in his painting.
that painting was interesting. It was very weird, and I thought Phoebe was, kind of honest with him, and I kind of agreed with her, and then he got offended, and then Gemma liked it, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh,
But-
Gemma.
But yeah, I don't
do
know.
love the
We shall
dig.
see what this develops as, and
You guys,
I
I
see it
have-
going into a
I have another
threesome.
crazy vision over here.
Oh,
So
jeez.
I'm picturing.
Can we get those strobe lights?
Yeah,
For the crazy vision.
I'm picturing JD, and I know this one actually won't happen, but like him running out of like a bedroom naked, just streaking down the street, being like, I don't want to do this.
I can actually see him doing that, though.
I can see that, too.
I can totally see him doing that.
He'll be like about to do,
Okay.
he'll be like, I can't. What the hell's happening? And
I
then he just
love
bolts.
you, but
I mean, do you
can't.
remember the first time they hooked up and how he was like
You guys, he
super like
has like Asperger's kind
Like,
of.
He
Could
does.
it
Like
control
it's
itself?
something like that.
It's something like
Yeah.
Asperger's, and it's getting better.
Poor Phoebe's
It's-
gonna throw
this
him over the
season
edge.
It's drastically better.
She's gonna throw him over the
Drastically.
edge.
And and I thought in this episode he was starting to pick up on things, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, good for you, JD. And then I'm like, nope, he's not.
No, I think JD is smarter than he lets on. He may have some social awkwardness about
Yeah.
him, but I
Yeah.
think he knows full well what is going on with Phoebe and Gemma.
Yeah, but he loves her, so he's willing to go
That's it.
along with it.
And I think he knows he's a little off his rocker, and he's kind of like, Phoebe's freaking gorgeous, and she chose me. And so I think he's kind of one of those guys who's willing to do what's going to appease her, even if he's not 100% comfortable with it. And
But I don't want their relationship to be ruined by this Gemma girl. That
Oh,
would
it's
be a
gonna be.
shame.
I think it's.
that
I
would
mean,
be
I think
a
it's gone.
real
It already
big
has.
shame.
I
You
think
think so?
I think it's. I mean, I just feel like really the relationship now is Phoebe and Gemma, and like JD's on
Yeah.
the side.
well, and it begs the point of like, what is cheating? Like, she clearly has an emotional relationship
Yeah.
with Gemma. She's been cheating on JD already, even if they haven't hooked up.
Agree.
Like, it's almost more damaging to have that kind of relationship than a sexual one. Like, I think a relationship like that
Yeah.
outside of marriage is far more damaging than like a one night stand that was just sex. Like, I
Yeah.
think you can move past that. Maybe. I could not.
Some people could.
Some people could. I could see
Depends
how
who
you
you
could,
ask.
but I see how
Yeah.
you could move past
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
I
one
understand what you're saying.
indiscretion
Yeah.
versus willingly entering into a relationship with
Yeah,
somebody.
or-
Like, she has started a relationship with Gemma.
Well, just think about how she used to look at JD when they first got together. Like she looked at him like, "You're so talented and you're so great, and you make
Yeah.
me feel like no one else." And now she looks at Gemma like that.
Yeah. And she
And
looks
JD's
at how can
Yeah.
how can JD
Yes.
appease Gemma or make her happy or paint the right thing for her. So it's kind of the dynamic has definitely
It's gone.
shifted.
Maybe JD will, or I'm sorry, Gemma will hire JD to paint like a naked photo of her and Phoebe. It's just like, oh, this is art. This is what I want.
art, yeah.
Like Gemma is being super manipulative.
Oh yeah.
Is
Yeah.
she though?
Yes.
I think she was feeling them out to see what she can get away with eventually. Yeah.
But I think Phoebe's falling into it, and JD's following whatever Phoebe's doing. I don't think she's pulling that many strings. I don't think she has to because Phoebe's just that enamored with her. So she's not
That's-
working
yeah.
that hard.
Man, you guys, I'm not okay. So I think I got my two least favorite characters out of the way right now in this episode first. Next we have Barbara.
Barb.
Loving
her.
Barbara this
Oh,
episode.
love.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Love her.
Jeez.
I love her.
And I just wish that I'm thinking to myself, God, we only get like little drops of her, and she should have way more.
She should.
Did she say she was slow roasting her relationship? Because
They
that was
are.
amazing.
They are. They slow roasting it.
In her
They
new
probably pan
fancy
roasting
kitchen.
it.
Never heard that, and I
Flipping
like
it over.
that.
You know, braising it.
Brazen.
Braising.
Yeah.
Braising is always a good
That's
thing.
what
Marinating.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
I
hoping
think I've
for
heard
her.
of marinating. Yeah.
Totally am hoping that for her.
But with Shishi, they have some legal troubles.
Yeah.
Yes, the mucker.
The mucker.
Yes, the mucker.
Muck it up. It's the worst
They
name.
mucked it up. And this Mitchell dude, I mean the worst.
Yeah.
Done. Over him.
Yeah, and it sucked. Like, Barbara literally took a bad situation and she turned it around with the snap of her fingers. And then he took credit for it. And I think that over time, those executives, what were they, like investors?
Those are the
Probably.
advertisers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Right?
I
Or they were the
thought they were
they were
the
corporate.
advertisers.
Like they were like the head people. Or I'm not sure.
Maybe like they owned. Like, because
Yeah.
there's those websites
Yeah.
that are owned by this, that are owned by this, and that are
Yeah.
it's almost like
It's a
TV.
subsidiary of
Yeah, so, but, she won them. And I think over time they would have figured out that it was her and gotten rid of him. But there's not enough time left on the show to do those kinds of things, unfortunately.
But she's like, honestly, not only is she fabulous, she's stable.
Oh my
It
God,
may
I
be
loved
like
her
the
when she
only
broke up the fight.
right?
in
Like
this.
she might be the
That
only
was great.
stable thing going on in this show right now. So I'm really excited to see what her next thing will be.
Yeah.
You just know. I mean, and she's a single mom and that kind of thing. So whatever she comes up with next is just going to be fabulous. Like
Yeah.
They needed her
you know what I
on
mean?
the show.
Oh, they did. They needed some
They
kind of
needed
stability.
some sort of like,
Yeah, they're like,
y'all are-
ladies.
somebody to call it
Yeah.
out, you know?
Reel
Like,
them in. Reel
somebody
in
like,
the
you
crazy.
are crazy. Like, you're crazy. You're all flipping
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and we're going to get into her. Like, she was literally a referee,
Yeah.
which was
so
amazing.
We all need a Barbara in our life.
Seriously.
Yep,
I
so we
mean,
do.
that is so true.
Especially wearing that coat she had on.
Yes,
Hello.
get your Barbara on.
Get your Barbara.
But then, of course, we have Abby, and the episode starts off with her book fantasy, which I'm like, okay, I really hope this is a fantasy or a dream.
Yeah.
what I
Halfway
read.
into that, I was like, and
Worse.
then
Yeah.
when they cut, I was like, okay, good.
The
like,
intentionally bad
Thank
writing.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, James Leisure being like, oh, yeah? Like,
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
vein pops out on the side of his head.
What
if you
was
guys
it like?
notice that?
Wait, was Cobb salad in his head?
No, that his vein pops
I
out.
was like,
Wait,
was
what?
that Cobb salad? I was like, that really was a dream.
I thought you said
confused.
something
What is
else,
happening?
actually.
Oh no.
Oh, dear. I know.
Oh
I'm
yeah. I was
sorry.
like,
Do we have a beep?
Earmuffs.
Oh, what?
Earmuffs, guys. Okay.
I'm like, wow.
Well, okay, so Abby is having this fantasy, but she's still a little pissed, a lot of pissed, because she's living with his wife and she doesn't know what the hell is going on with him and his wife.
I mean, throughout the entire episode, and I think I even said this last week, I was like, right, he is living with his ex-wife still. But what are they doing that he necessarily needed
To
tell her?
I think he did.
I think so too.
I'm not exactly because
And Abby did too.
don't.
because I mean Abby was kind of like playing it on this thing of like, oh, we're keeping secrets and it's so great keeping secrets with you and you've inspired me and I don't want to show you what I'm right. Like that's how she played this whole thing.
Can we just get an applause really quickly because that was the best Abby impression ever.
Thank you very
That
much.
was
Thank
amazing.
You. Thank you. So I don't know what he needed to tell her.
No, I'm with you. I don't think he needed to tell her. They didn't go out on dates.
Nope.
She didn't want to be they weren't in public for anything. They were basically just hooking up during the baseball
So wait,
season.
you guys are defending Brady now because
I think they are.
I'm just saying, at what point did he need to disclose that he was with his wife? Like, what point would he be like, hey, let's sneak behind the bleachers and let me show it to you. Oh, by the way, I'm still living with my ex.
You guys they talk.
Did they talk?
Yes.
In between the dry humping?
I think
didn't
they
get it that they talked.
sexted.
Yeah, I don't know if they talked.
I think that you're on my side, Veronica. I do think you are.
I think that would
naughty
have came
talks.
out. He should have just been up front. I mean, this baseball world is small enough. It would have came out eventually.
Well, everything's coming out.
There's
Yeah.
a lot coming, but
But yeah, I don't know. He didn't need to.
Well, let's talk about
Hold
this.
back.
Yeah, Colette, beautiful woman.
Oh my gosh.
Gorgeous.
Is she not gorgeous?
And sweet. Comes off as very,
And
very
she's
nice,
not like
very genuine.
all done up or anything.
Nope.
She's just naturally like the cool girl.
She was so gorgeous. I was like,
I think
oh.
we're gonna see some more of her.
Yeah. Do you guys think when her and Abby were? I think that Colette knew right away.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Why would she
Yeah.
show up? That
You
was like somebody
know.
gave her the sign, hey girl, you better come check
so
up
you
on.
think it was Linda? It's Linda, right?
You know, Linda's in the mix a little bit too much. But I
She
definitely
knows
think Colette
everything.
knew something. Abby was just talking too much. Abby and Joe were so awkward. I was
Yeah.
like, stop
Maybe
talking
they
to
were
the chick.
swingers with Linda and her hubby.
That is very LA, but
Oh my God, maybe they were swingers,
Maybe.
and then
I'm just
Linda got
saying,
in the
Linda's
mix.
really involved.
She's super involved.
Yeah, and she's like, I got in there
Super
once, and it's
involved.
way too messy. Like, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna help because I've been there, girl. Like, you're right, she is too involved. But okay, I'm gonna say something embarrassing, which you
I can't
guys know.
wait.
Well, no, it's just that I did not, because I bought this episode on iTunes today and watched it. I didn't realize that this was the one before the finale.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we get is next week on this season.
So I'm kind of just like, I do want to see these storylines continue,
Yeah.
but at the same time, there's more important things to tackle before we end this show.
Correct.
Like Jake, I want to tackle Jake.
Do you want to tackle
I
Jake?
actually really want to tackle Jake.
I mean, didn't want to tackle Jake when he was on private practice, but I'd possibly do a little tackle.
I
right
actually
now
did
and
want
then.
to tackle him on
Yes.
private practice.
I did
too.
not on private practice.
I did not on private
did
practice,
not
but
at
I did.
all
On
get
this
that.
show, I
On this
backed up
show,
a little
yeah.
bit.
he's
It's a
so
different-
endearing. He's such a good guy.
He's got like a rugged.
Yeah, and a manly
Skinny
man.
jean type of vibe.
And
I feel like he's a
And-
good guy.
Did you guys know that he's married? We talked about this. To the actress that is in How to Get Away with Murder, that was also Paris on Gilmore Girls.
Oh, he's married.
They're married.
Shut
Or
up.
actually,
I'm
maybe
not-
they're. You know what? I take that back. I think they're getting divorced right now, but they have kids and stuff. I'm like
that's sad.
newsflash in my head.
I can't really
But
see that.
and
She's
he's
super
a producer
intense.
now on a show I told you guys last
yeah,
week,
last week.
Imposters. So
Yes.
I'm just like obsessed with him. And I think that I don't know this entire thing with all these people. Like I hope they just don't break things off. Like oh, not enough time.
Yeah, I'm really worried
Need
about how they're
resolutions.
going to like at least wrap something up and give some kind of cliffhanger because
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that's kind of hanging out there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have the Colette thing, and then Abby and Brady have a bit of a conversation. She's like, you know, the season's over, we're over.
Yeah,
And he seems to take it very seriously.
yeah, let that ride though.
I don't know. I kind of hope things work out with Abby and Coach.
Yeah.
You have changed your ways, my lady.
Yeah. This episode really changed kind of my. I don't know. I feel like there was no reason for him to like really give her anything prior to this, and I think he kind of was like, you know what, like I'm ready. I'm moving out. Like this is
Yeah, and she's like, is it
Let's do
because of
this.
me?
no.
I love that question. He was like, no.
But I do think that she
No.
pushed him to be like, you know, you can't go out dating women, doing this and not telling them. It's like a big mistake. Even though you guys don't think that it was like necessary. I think they're adults
weren't
and they have
dating.
children.
Yeah, I
they're
don't think they're
adults and they
They
have
weren't
children.
dating. They were hooking up.
But again, they're adults. They have children. They have responsibilities. They're grown-ups. They shouldn't
Right,
just
but I
be
think
hooking
there's
up.
also an assumption there that like I don't know on that same note, if you're an adult and you're a divorcee and you have a child, a lot of people who then begin to date, they don't introduce their home life
No.
to the person
No.
they're dating until they know that is like
It's something to
legit
introduce.
and
yeah.
solid and worth introducing. So I just feel like
I became attached
I
to
don't
them,
know.
Did you?
It was a slow burn. It was a marination. Now they're just taking that thing off before it's done.
I don't think so. I mean, for me, it's great that he's moved out for him, but he's still in the middle, or is he even in the middle of the divorce?
she's still in the middle of her divorce.
Right,
I
like,
mean, let's be
It's like she doesn't even know if he's filed papers. Like she knows nothing, but now his address has changed. But hell, does she know where his address was at first? Like when they like got together, I was like, but he still is messed up. She still is messed up. I was like, now you got two messed up people getting together. That's
Finding
a whole
love
lot
in
of
a
mess.
hopeless place, guys.
making a mess.
Well, you know, we'd love to hear your thoughts on them because we have all like bounced back and forth between if we love and hate the two of them. We gotta talk about Abby and Joe and their girls. Oh my gosh. Oh,
How about the revelation of Abby and Joe fighting over Jake?
Loved it.
Well, yeah, me and Tara have
makes so much
talked
sense.
about this before.
Yeah, did you remember that episode where Joe and
Yes.
Jake were like sitting and I was like, they're gonna hook up.
Yep, and there is a past, and we love that. So, you know, there's Lily.
Ooh.
What?
Maybe that will happen. We have 2 more seasons. I really think Joe
But
and
it's
Jake
actually like one more season. The
are
equivalent
more,
of
like, compatible.
That goes against my fantasy of Jake and Abby getting back together.
Oh, hell no. Jake deserves so much better than that, Cray Cray. He knows she's a full batch crazy.
No, he's so good for her.
No, I think, he and Joe are totally gonna hook up.
Well, it is an interesting thing because we don't know what happened back then.
Right.
But maybe history is in a way repeating itself with Lily and Ethan and Zoe.
Except Joe didn't punch Abby or physically assault
Really?
her, right?
I can see Joe.
Or maybe
Joe knocking Abby
maybe
out.
they left that part out.
Going at it.
Yeah, that's right. She's
This
spicy.
poor Ethan kid. I mean, he probably just grew a foot and a half in the past year. He just grew pubic hair.
He's getting used to his voice.
Figuring it out.
Just changed.
And these 2 girls are literally physically fighting over him.
I mean, he's cute as
loves
can be.
it.
And he has a job that probably is, you know, child labor.
Yeah, can
we
I
talked about
ask
that.
everyone, how old do we all think Ethan is?
He's in high school. He's under 18.
17.
He's still under 18, goes to school full time.
They
And
don't
he has a
work
job
permit.
as the main baker in a vegan bakery in Venice?
You know what? Maybe he's
You think his job is too
But
demanding?
you know what? This is LA, so there's like, you know, super fancy schools that you pay like 30 grand to send your kid to so they can like, I don't know, bake
Leave
in a
school and
vegan
bake at a vegan
Yeah.
bakery? Okay.
Like legit.
I mean, hell, he's good at it, clearly. I'm just
great.
wondering.
He's working towards his college fund.
I know, we had like this high school, like in our high school, there was like kids that couldn't do like the regular curriculum, and so they went and did like vocational programs. So they would like.
It's like the millennial get a
they would
trophy
do-
for showing up.
No, I'm serious.
You know what? I mean, when I was in high school, my senior year, I left early and I went to work at like Target. I wasn't
saying, like,
the
at
main
school.
baker.
But there was like programs for like high school kids that like can't handle or like don't do well in the regular curriculum, and they go into like vocational programs.
But he's carrying the bakery, I think is what
But you guys, just remind you, this is what
Baking
Scott did.
internship.
Yeah, this is what a grown man did who's devoted his life
But
to
then
baking.
again,
a
we
full-grown
were
man.
we were reminded after he left that he did live in a trailer.
But he spent a lot of time having sex and a little time baking, so it might not be a full-time commitment.
Well,
Just
I mean,
yeah, good.
Joe
Maybe his
moved
pimp
him.
gave him a call and was like, you know
something.
what? You're messing up here, man. You got to make me more money.
I'm just curious how old we think he
Who
is.
has a pimp?
17.
Maybe that's why Scott left, because his pimp was mad.
So confused.
Scott has a lot of sex, okay? I'm just waiting for him to come back and for
I don't think he
Rain
needs
to
somebody
stop
to help
taking
him have sex.
Not at all. I think he got that on lock.
Not help him, but book the ladies.
don't
Anyways,
think he
okay,
needs
you know what, you guys? I
help
think I
booking
just thought of the perfect spin-off for this show.
Go ahead. No, I'm ready.
No, it's just Scott the Gigolo.
That's it.
I don't even think he needs to be a
Who's
gigolo.
the madam? And Joe's
Right.
his madam.
You know, it's like more of a madam situation. Okay, I like that.
Oh my goodness.
I'll brainstorm on that when I get home, and I'll just free write. But the fight between Abby and Joe seemed like it had been a thing that had happened before. But then finally someone took it too far, which was Zoe, and she shoved her.
It was awesome.
What a nut
was
job
just
that
funny.
little Zoe.
It was funny.
I wish we would have actually seen it because
Me
it
too,
really
'cause-
looked like she had that girl flying across the
I
room
mean,
You're like a
that
stunt
cartoon,
coordinator.
You know what I mean? Like
So many.
she was like
things
Superwoman.
off
She was right across the room.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, well, maybe, Lily's exaggerating. And then Zoe's like, you whore. Like,
She turned into a different
no, she called her a
person.
slut. She called her like a stupid slut or something.
She called her fat.
She's like talking to him. She called her a whore.
Said you're so big. I was like, what? I don't even know what that
She
means.
said, she called her fat.
I was like, what? This girl is like
Did she?
5'10" and a
Yeah.
size 2, maybe.
She's like, it was just crazy. So then Joe finally realizes, you know, that like it might be time to have a little sit down with her daughter.
It took her a while to get to that point, but yeah.
Well, and they didn't even really address where Frumkus went. It's like, okay, he just went away to the good place, like, you know, to a place that will help him.
Hospital, rehab, something again, right?
But I just wish that, like, you know, I was like, well, what happened to that guy?
Well, why did she even tell anybody about Frumkus?
We don't know.
I don't think we ever saw her tell Abby or anybody that he like OD'd.
Yeah,
and
relapsed
was, like,
or
in the hospital.
I don't know.
Maybe, because I just thought that they did because she told Abby everything that's always been through.
Yeah.
But maybe you're right.
I don't know.
It's still a lot to go through, regardless if he did that.
I'm still shocked at how kind of crazy the crazy's coming out of Zoe. I mean, she's just like shaking and she's got tears and poor thing is just,
You guys, I'm like so scared we said she was on the wrong show. Like,
no, you know what? I'm glad they made this choice instead of like, I think so often you see this like stressed out girl who's like family's going through all this stuff and she's like, becomes like a cutter or has an
like
eating
a typical,
disorder or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad they were like, let's have her shove a chick across a bakery over a guy.
But let's be honest,
yay,
though.
writers.
Wasn't she a little too perfect anyway?
Oh yeah, that's the whole point.
It was
she's like totally snapped, and the way she snapped was pushing.
I was like, what is up with this chick?
It's the Nicole Kidman movie with the housewives and they're perfect and they're robots. Yeah, that's who Zoe is gonna grow up to be.
That's what she definitely was.
She kind of gives me that vibe of.
Hopefully not.
No. I mean, I hope not.
Maybe she'll get the help she needs.
She's gonna get kicked out now.
I loved when she like looked at Joe and she was like, "Where do you think I learned at?"
Oh, girl.
And there's just a whole thing there because I mean, Joe has been hurting so badly about Scott. And she's finally a little bit stopped talking about it, but I think she's still really hurting, so she's trying to like she doesn't have any other room in her brain for this other crap. But she's got to make it.
Frumkus and that kind of thing.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't want to deal with this. There's no issue with my daughter because I actually can't handle it.
Well, because she's seen her daughter as this like perfect little thing because she hasn't been a parent. Her daughter's like had to be, you know, kind of hold her together, and she finally is old enough to be like, I'm not this way because you did anything. Like,
yeah, blames it all on her.
But I don't consider Joe a bully.
Me either. I didn't when she said that,
I was like, I don't consider her a bully. I was like, she's straightforward. She's straight New York. She's very, you know, a matter of fact.
She's very aggressive. I will say Joe's very aggressive, especially when she first got on the show.
I don't consider her a bully. Like, I've never seen her just like straight go at. I mean, she and Abby have an argument, that's fine, but she's never straight gone anywhere. Like early in the show, she was like, Abby, you got BFF backup if you need it. Like I don't consider her a bully at all. So I was like, Zoe,
she's got the tough love, she's got the sassiness, but it always comes from a good place. Yes, and she tells it like it is, but from a good place.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, guys, let's get into some predictions for the finale episode.
See, look at that.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Start on that side of the table, Tara.
Oh gosh. You know what? Honestly, on the season finale, I see a lot of sex. I see Delia and Albert. I see Phoebe, JD, and whomever else is in the room. But actually, Gemma and Phoebe are going to leave the room, and JD's going to have to kind of figure it out. I do think Coach and Abby will end the season doing the Wiles thing against anything I ever possibly want whatsoever. And the only person who won't be is Joe. Like, she won't be getting it in. I don't see her getting it in. I think she has to really sit down and like deal with her daughter. And Zoe has a lot more going on than I think any of us even imagine. And I'm not saying that maybe if like they don't really address this issue right now, that Zoe won't go into the cutting and that kind of thing too. Because it's just like she's a pressure cooker about to like pop.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, I have a lot of predictions about like overall show arc, not necessarily the finale. Okay. Delia and Albert are sadly going to hook up. It's going to be disgusting.
But are they endgame? They're not endgame, right?
I don't know that it's endgame, but I think they're going to get back together.
I vote endgame.
Much as it pains me to hear. I think that Phoebe and Gemma and JD, I think it's gonna be some sort of weird artistic thing where it's like some weird orgy and like JD's like painting it or something like that. Like
you laughed at my idea, and then you took it.
I know. But I was like, I totally can see that being like some super weird, like Gemma being like, paint this, and it's
I'll
like
pay you
some
$1 million.
weird, like, Phoebe chanty
I can't.
ashram naked weirdness.
Too much money, too much time.
It's so weird. Abby, I think Abby and Coach are gonna continue to build a relationship, and I think he's gonna find out about her fiction book that ain't fiction, and she's gonna like really fall for this guy, and he's gonna be like, what the what, Abby? You just wrote out our entire relationship in a fiction book. And I actually think that perhaps his ex-wife is going to be the one that reveals that this new fiction erotica is actually his life played out with the woman that he hooked up with after her. And that's going to happen. That's not going to end well for Abby. She's going to lose her ish. But she's going to go running to Jake, who's going to be hooking up with Joe.
Whoa!
And I think we're finally going to hear about, like, what happened between, like, Joe and Jake. And we'll hear, like, like
one crazy night.
That night was so magical. Our lives could have been so different. I don't regret where we've been. But I've always had this.
But Zoe's
This
yours.
feeling.
Just kidding.
Oh my
Yes! Oh, that would be magical. Because Joe, I mean, it might be. I'm serious.
Really?
Because, well, think about it. Joe and Frumkiss are both a little cray-cray. There's nothing balanced about them. And Zoe's, like, super type A. And neither of them really seem to have a whole lot of that there.
All right.
Anywho.
Okay.
Am I talking too much for you?
All right. What's next, Veronica?
Oh, yeah. So mine is real simple. Now that Albert is divorced, of course, he's going to come and try to hit on Delia. That's what he does best. But I think she's going to hook up. This is something you've said, and now I finally agree. Delia is going to hook up with Ronnie, but not because she wants to, but just to piss Albert off. And then maybe, I don't know, that develops into something real, or maybe she gets in trouble. I don't know where that will go, but I think she'll do it just to piss Albert off.
And Albert will tell the firm about the guitar and she'll get fired.
Maybe. But, yeah.
Well, I actually really
She's
like
just
that.
kind of me.
Stooping low. She's desperate. She'll do anything.
she
She
is
just
going
wants
low.
to. Yeah, she's going low.
Guys, at this point, I'd rather her hook up with Ronnie than Albert.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so I do think that the Phoebe, JD, like, I just see a total threesome happening,
Yeah.
like you guys have said, and him being wrapped up into this, like, artist, situation. And I think that, like, the past between Joe and Abby, they have been friends for so long, like, that will for sure come out. And let's see, I had another important one, you guys.
Lily's gonna get knocked up by Ethan.
And then we'll have, like, teen
Okay, that
pregnancy.
would be wow. That would blow my mind.
Well, I think Jake's gonna come back in like he always does at the end of the seasons,
Yep.
and be like, "What the hell?"
What did I miss?
And even out everything.
What did I miss?
Yeah. And then I really do hope that Scott comes back. I think stuff's gonna go really, really wrong with Joe's family, like between Zoe and Frumkiss and Scott's gonna come back and be like, "Oh my gosh, how can I help?"
Yeah.
You still think
That'd be
Frumkiss is
great.
gonna die?
I don't know.
Oh, it's dark.
That was dark.
I think they like killed him in a way by they didn't even tell us where they sent him. They're like, he's gone.
He's
Where
already
the children
dead.
were like the past couple seasons.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love the show. Check out our next
it.
episode next week for the finale. Where can we find y'all on social media?
Find me at Twitter and Instagram, TJ Wagging Her Tail.
And I'm at Rockin' Mama Life on everywhere. Pretty much. Yeah.
Finally on Twitter, Veronica B Online on Twitter and VRocker1 on Instagram.
And you guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at samdavidsonentertainment.com, Twitter and Instagram at samd43. And I just want to thank Heather Lagos Designs. You can find them on Instagram. This really cool necklace they made me. It's very fancy. You guys can just follow all of us, chat with us throughout the week, and we'll see you next week for the finale. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.